The challenge is to convince people that the principles we stand for are the only way to recapture the greatness of this nation and expand it to places even further than it's ever gone before. And the stakes could not be higher. For we are running out of time. We still have time, but we are running out of time. The bad news is that today we are on the road to decline. I know that this is a Republican gathering, and so perhaps saying something about your own party that's less than kind is not always the right thing to do, but it's the truth. Both parties are to blame for this road that we're on. I always chuckle when people say there's no bipartisanship in Washington. Yeah, there is. That $19 trillion debt is a bipartisan debt. But we've never seen anything like the last 7 years in this president. We are on the road to decline, and what that means is if we don't change, if we don't turn the page, if we don't allow new people with new ideas to lead this country into this new era, I believe that our children, sadly, will be the first Americans in history who will inherit a life worse than their parents. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be this way. There is another way forward for us. There is another way forward for us, but we must embrace it. And that's why I chose to run for president. Because I honestly believe that if we do what needs to be done, the greatest era in our history is right before us. But the time to act is now. We really can't wait any longer. We cannot wait any longer. You know, I said this last night to a group, it's easy to think that America's always had it easy, that we've never faced challenges. That's just not true. We've always faced challenges. We were founded by declaring independence from the most powerful empire in the world. It's quite a challenge. We had a civil war that divided our nation brutally, almost ended it. That was a challenge. The First World War created carnage mankind had never seen. Then, right after the First World War, a Great Depression. And then a Second World War. And then after that, a long Cold War that threatened the existence of life on this planet. We have always faced great challenges. Ours is the story of a people that have always confronted their challenges and embraced their opportunities. Now the time has come for this generation to do its part. And we are all called to this task, for we are all the beneficiaries of the extraordinary miracle of America. But I feel personally called to this passionately, because America is not just the country that I grew up in, it's the nation that literally changed the very history of my family. I don't come from wealthy and politically connected parents. I was born and raised by people that know America is special because they know what life is like outside of America. And they never became rich or famous in America either. But they were successful because through hard work they were able to own a home in a safe and stable neighborhood and retire with dignity and leave all four of their children better off than themselves. But that's not just my story, that's our story. It's especially the story of Florida, a state where people have come from all over the place in search of a better life. Some came here fleeing socialism in Venezuela. Some fleeing socialism in New York. They came here in search of, yeah, I know, now I lost the New York primary. But listen, maybe not, we never know. They might move to Florida. If any state in this nation understands the American dream, it's Florida. People that understand the American dream is not how much money you make. It could be a part of your dream, but it's not the American dream. The American dream is not how many things you own on the day you die. The American dream is about being able to leave your children better off than yourself and achieving the life you want through hard work and perseverance. This is what makes us special. Every country in the world has rich people. The poorest country in the world has rich people. What makes us special is the millions of people that will never be rich, but are working hard to be happy. And whether or not they can achieve that in the 21st century, that is what will determine whether we are a special country or not. The men and women who will clean the rooms of this hotel tonight, the people who will serve your food at lunch or park your car, will they be able to leave their children better off than themselves? Will they be able to do for their children what my parents did for me and your parents did for you? That is what we must decide. That is what our party must be about. Because if we do what needs to be done, then that American dream will not just survive. It'll reach more people and it'll change more lives than ever before. And the 21st century won't just be as good as the 20th century. It will be better. It will be a new American century.